24 CR 1285 is called. You were here with your attorney, Mr. Dusler, and the state's attorney. Earlier, you pleaded guilty to the third-degree felony of deadly conduct, discharging a firearm. And a pre-sentence report has been prepared, and the parties had an opportunity to review it. Any corrections or changes to it?
No, sir.
It's made a part of the record for all purposes. And this agreement was whatever sentence shall not exceed a cap of 5 years in prison. It's a third-degree felony. We're looking at no less than 2 nor more than 5 years confinement in prison.
A guilty plea for firing a weapon sets the courtroom on edge. But what begins as a routine sentencing hearing quickly unravels into a tense and gripping examination of a chaotic juvenile past, revealing a shocking act of violence that changes everything.
Also, deferred or unadjudicated probation can also be in the ballpark as a potential disposition, and regular probation, I don't believe, is available, is it?
No.
Not when you discharge a firearm, right? Okay, go ahead. Defense can go
Well,
first.
Judge, he is asking for adjudication. This young man is 18 years of age. He has no adult history. He does have significant.
Decode this real quick.
Regular probation is off the table because discharging a firearm, especially in public, automatically upgrades the severity of the offense. That's Texas law, and the court is firm. There's no bending the rules.
History is
Why is that?
as reported in the in the PSI. You know, when you're young, you do pretty stupid things.
I was young.
Most of these,
I remember that, but I was never arrested.
most of these arrests as a juvenile were dismissals, if the court will look at that. But again, back to the case.
How many were not?
I can count them if
2.
you like.
Looks like,
2, I believe.
although
Maybe 3.
maybe 3.
Yes, sir.
These aren't just youthful mistakes anymore. They reveal a clear pattern of behavior, multiple charges and violations committed while already on probation. And to think he's only 18. The judge's patience is rapidly running out.
Those were illegal possession of controlled substance. Then he's put on 6 months deferred on July of 2020, and less than 4 months later, he's charged with he commits unauthorized use of a motor vehicle while he was on deferred probation, and then placed delinquent court probation, and then another unauthorized use of a motor vehicle on October 2022. He's sentenced to 1 year adjudicated probation for that. That's what I'm looking at.
Yes.
So 3 separate events. He didn't learn his lesson. So we have, is there still a pending failure to identify as a fugitive?
It's what the PSI shows, Judge. I'm not certain on that.
I think that may have been the arrest on this case. Not to arrest him on this charge. Looks like it's a couple of weeks after this event. No, I'm sorry. I'm a year off. Sorry. Still may have been then.
I don't have the benefit of my computer to confirm that, Judge.
Regardless, the misdemeanor is still pending.
Okay, anything else in the pre-sentence report? That is an issue.
No.
Okay,
I just need to.
Then the pre-sentence report is made a part of the record for all purposes. Go ahead.
Well, the offenses that you just discussed as a juvenile, I'd point out he was like 13 years of age on those first 2, and the last one was a couple of years later. So he was awfully young then. And to his credit, I mean, he did obviously successfully complete the probation even as a juvenile. But back to the case in point.
Redemption arc or courtroom performance. What do you think? Would you give this guy a second shot, or has he already run out of chances? Drop a comment.
I've discussed with him, and he recognizes it's extremely dangerous to have a firearm, and especially be shooting it from any direction at anybody. He regrets that this happened. He wishes that it hadn't. He feels like he's learned his lesson. That he's been in jail now for a while. He certainly feels like he could successfully complete adult probation because he did it as a juvenile. he's only got an 8th grade education. He'd like to be placed on deferred, get him a job, and participate in completing the GED, and maybe make something a whole lot better of his life. And that's what we're asking the court to do: is give him deferred education, give him an opportunity.
All right. State, what would you like to add?
I'd like to start first with some comments about his juvenile history. There are 5 cases that the juvenile system dealt with. One he was given probation for, Your Honor noted, was possession of controlled substance. That was dismissed in 22. He was given another for unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, and what was added to that probation was 2 additional charges. That's what the phrase "add to analysis." They were added to his probation.
He didn't just shoot once. He came back the next day and unloaded an AK-47 at an apartment complex. That's no teenage lapse. That's premeditated chaos. And the stakes just went nuclear.
That would be the unauthorized use of a motor vehicle and carrying weapons. One of those, he was given a year of probation, and that started on 11/3/22. He turned 17 in October of 23, and you'll note, Your Honor, that his probation was dismissed on January 8th of 2024. That is the same time frame in which an aggravated assault, a probation violation, and expulsion were all dismissed. So the way I read that is that they determined that they were done with him because he had become an adult. And unfortunately, this man decided that committing the offense of deadly conduct would be a really good thing to do. So when you read the police court version, we learned that he not only shot at his ex-girlfriend on April 26th, but he returned to do it again on April 27th, which resulted...
Literally no statement, no apology, nothing. And trust me, judges notice when you speak through your actions instead of your words.
In his use of an AK-47, where 5 shots were laid down at an apartment complex there at, I believe it's the Parkway Apartments, striking 3 different apartment buildings, resulting in us only filing 1 case. We could have had 2 cases from 2 different dates. We could have had potentially 3 cases from the date of April 27th. And I know Your Honor is astute enough to know that the level of violence here does warrant what the state offered in this regard. We're just lucky we're not dealing with murders. I appreciate that they're asking for deferred adjudication, but I don't think it takes into account the level of violence and the amount of loss that could have occurred here. I stand by the offer that was made here at capping this item at 5 years. And because of the level of violence, I'm asking for a sentence of 5 years TDC.
All right. Did you want to say anything? You don't want to say anything?
Did I successfully tell the judge what you and I discussed, that you felt like that you could make probation?
Yes, sir.
You regret this incident?
All right, I'm looking at this pre-sentence report that's made a part of the record and without objection. And we don't have the defendant's version. He declined to say anything, just as he's doing today, which is all right. Your actions certainly speak a lot louder than maybe your words could. But for the record, this is a situation, a set of circumstances that every one of the people who are decent people in Beaumont have a hard time trying to explain away because of bizarre, lawless.
This is a gut punch. 3 kids playing outside, bullets flying, 1 wrong step. And this would have been a multiple homicide. The judge is right. This isn't just reckless, it's terrifying.
A behavior that is only anyone can state is likely to cause numerous deaths and injuries. And here, the defendant is seen leaning out of a window, shooting an AK-47, an assault rifle, which what America uses in times of war, toward an apartment complex, shooting toward an apartment complex where, of course, numerous people are located. 3 small children were playing outside in the area where the shots were fired. Several 7.62 shell casings that are used in AK-47s were located and collected at the scene. And it's interesting that here, you're not going to say anything, but according to the police report, the pre-sentence report,